next preparation of alkane, we are going to discuss the reaction name is Reed's reaction. So basically the next chemical property of alkane. This is the next chemical property of alkane. First chemical property of alkane we have discussed, photohalogenation. Now another chemical property of alkane. In this case we can see when alkane reacts with SO2Cl2. When alkane reacts with SO2Cl2 in presence of sunlight. When alkane reacts with SO2Cl2 in presence of sunlight, SO2Cl2 we call sulfuryl chloride. Then alkane will changes into alkyl chloride, and two gases are escapable products. So basically one is SO2 and one is HCl, and this reaction follow the free radical substitution mechanism. So this reaction follow free radical substitution mechanism. So basically this is the chemical property of alkane. By using alkane we can prepare alkyl halide in presence of sulfuryl chloride and sunlight. The other two products are escapable gases. One is SO2 and one is HCl. See, basically if alcohol, this reaction is very important, if alcohol reacts with SOCl2, not SO2Cl2. If SO2Cl2 we use, this reaction called Reed's reaction. But when we use SOCl2, this is basically not sulfuryl chloride, this is thionyl chloride. SOCl2 is thionyl chloride, and the mechanism of this reaction is intramolecular nucleophilic substitution. Intramolecular, I stands for intramolecular, SN stands for nucleophilic substitution. So in this case alcohol will change into alkyl halide, and the other two products are escapable gases, SO2 and HCl. While this reaction, when we prepare alkyl halide from alcohol, this reaction we call Dargent's reaction. Now we will discuss the another chemical property of alkane. So another chemical property of alkane is nitration reaction. So basically when alkane reacts with concentrated HNO3, then this hydrogen will be replaced by NO2 group. So alkane changes into nitroalkane. See the reaction also, RH. Basically this is the structure of HNO3. OH part removed from HNO3 and H from alkane. So there is a removal of water and NO2 group will attach to alkane. So nitroalkane is formed. When alkane reacts with concentrated HNO3, nitroalkane will be the product. Now see the next reaction. Next reaction of alcohol is sulfonation reaction. See the sulfonation reaction. Basically in sulfonation reaction what happens when alkane reacts with concentrated H2SO4. When alkane reacts with concentrated H2SO4, also we can use oleum H2H2O7. Then alkane changes into RSO3H. See the reaction. RH, as we know, this is the structure of H2SO4 sulfuric acid. Like in nitric acid, OH part is removed from nitric acid. In the same way, OH part is removed from sulfuric acid and H is removed from alkane. So there is loss of water and it forms RSO3H. So this is basically the sulfonation reaction of alkanes. Now we will discuss another reaction of alkane, which is isomerization reaction. The isomerization reaction of alkane. So basically isomerization reaction in which isomers are formed, alkane isomers are formed. So the reagent used in isomerization reaction is AlCl3 in presence of heat. So this is butane. When butane isomerizes with AlCl3 and heat, it forms 2-methylpropane. As butane and 2-methylpropane are isomers of each other. So this reaction we call isomerization reaction. Now see next. When we use AlCl3, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 N-pentane. When N-pentane reacts with AlCl3 in presence of heat, then it can form 2-methylbutane. Also it can form 2,2-dimethylpropane. So basically 2-methylbutane and 2,2-dimethylpropane are the isomers of normal pentane. So this reaction we call isomerization reaction. So isomerization reaction takes place in presence of AlCl3 and heat. Now we discuss another reaction, chemical reaction of alkane, which is combustion reaction. See, combustion reaction is very easy reaction. We know generally combustion reaction is exothermic in nature. As we can see that C2H6 ethane combines with there is combustion of ethane. So basically how many carbon atoms are in there? Ethane, 2 carbon atom, therefore 2 CO2, 6 hydrogen atoms, therefore 6 by 2 means 3 moles of water molecule. Now count the oxygen, 2 2 4 and 3 7, so 7 by 2 oxygen. This is the combustion of ethane. Now we can see CXHY. So X carbon atoms are there, therefore X moles of CO2 is produced. Now see, there is Y hydrogen atoms, therefore Y by 2 mole of water. Y by 2 mole of water, half of hydrogen atoms. Now see, as oxygen atoms are 2x, 2 into x, 2x, and Y by 2. So basically 2x plus Y by 2. So 2x plus Y by 2 divided by 2 gives x plus Y by 4. So this is the general balanced chemical equation of combustion. Now we will discuss another chemical property of alkane, the reaction we call aromatization reaction. So basically normal alkanes will convert into aromatic compounds. Normal alkanes will convert into aromatic compounds. The reaction we call aromatization reaction. Basically aromatization reaction takes place in presence of chromium oxide, molybdenum oxide, or aluminium oxide. See, as we can see in this chain, 1 2 3 4 5 6 carbon atoms are there. So basically this aliphatic chain will convert into aromatic compound of 6 carbon member. So this reaction we can see normal hexane changes into benzene, and benzene is a aromatic compound. Now see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So basically in linear chain, aliphatic chain, there are 7 carbon atoms. When we use the same catalyst, Cr2O3 or MO2O3 or Al2O3, so these catalysts, on using this catalyst, 6 carbon chain will form a aromatic ring. 6 carbon chain out of 7 will form aromatic ring of benzene. Now 1 carbon is extra, so this extra carbon will put on the branch. So basically the product form is toluene. So this is another case in which normal heptane changes into toluene. This is also changing into aromatic compound, therefore reaction is aromatization. Now see the next example of aromatization. As we can see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, there are 8 carbon atoms. So on aromatization by using catalyst Cr2O3, MO2O3 and Al2O3, 6 carbon chain will form aromatic ring. Now remaining 2 carbon will be in the form of branch. So this is ethyl benzene. Also we can form the isomer. So basically this is orthogylene, 1,2-dimethyl toluene we also call orthogylene. So this is also aromatic compound, therefore the reaction we call aromatization reaction. See. Now see the question. Another reaction we can see, if so KMnO4 is basically an oxidizing agent. KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. So it oxidizes hydrogen into OH group. As we can see, there is hydrogen present. On this carbon atom. Therefore, this hydrogen will oxidize into OH group, while the rest part remains same. So KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent. Now see the question and solve this question. See, as we can see that this is cyclohexane on chlorination. So basically this is halogenation reaction. One hydrogen is substituted by halogen. One hydrogen will be substituted by halogen Cl. So the product A form is chlorohexane. So one hydrogen will be removed and chlorine is attached. Now when we react NaCN, so basically this is nucleophilic substitution reaction. This Cl will be removed and this Cl will be replaced by the Cn. So the next product is benzene. Now as we can see, cyclohexane and Cl is replaced by Cn. Now see, now we do the hydrolysis of this compound. So B on hydrolysis, as we know, when there is hydrolysis of cyanide group, so cyanide group on hydrolysis gives carboxylic group. Cyanide group on complete hydrolysis gives carboxylic group. So the next product C, form is cyclohexane with COH group. Now the next question is, when C reacts with NaOH, this is basically soda lime. So basically when it is heated with the soda lime, we know in soda lime there is removal of CO2 gas. There is removal of CO2 gas because decarboxylation reaction. So NaOH with calcium oxide is soda lime. This reaction called soda lime reaction decarboxylation. So basically there is removal of CO2, then again it forms cyclohexane. See, if we use NaOH electrolysis, the reaction is Kolbe electrolysis. The reaction we call Kolbe electrolysis. In Kolbe electrolysis, what happens? This is R group, RCOH. So R will combine with R. So two rings will be fused. So basically this is Kolbe electrolysis reaction, NaOH in presence of electrolysis. So basically this is R group, RCOH. So R group will combine with another R group. So it forms two rings. So basically it is free radical based mechanism. Now we are going to discuss about alkene. So we have finished alkane, all reactions. Now we are going to discuss about alkenes. See, first we are going to discuss the methods of preparation of alkenes. So basically alkenes are prepared from alkynes. Alkenes are prepared from alkynes. As we can see, this is basically alkyne, RC triple bond C and R2. So basically in alkynes, when hydrogen is added in presence of palladium or barium sulfate, also we can say when hydrogen in presence of palladium, calcium carbonate is added. So basically barium sulfate or calcium carbonate acts as a poison. These two compounds, barium sulfate and calcium carbonate, acts as a poison and stop the reaction from alkyne to alkene only. If we do not use barium sulfate or calcium carbonate, then it will be further reduced. Alkene will further reduce into alkane. So basically, to stop the reaction at alkene, we added barium sulfate and calcium carbonate as a poison. So basically, to terminate the reaction from alkyne to alkene only, we use this poison, barium sulfate and calcium carbonate. So basically, this is hydrogenation reaction, addition of hydrogen. So triple bond will convert into double bond. And also remember, the catalyst we are using barium sulfate and calcium carbonate, the reaction is known as Rosen-Mundt reduction reaction. So Rosen-Mundt reduction reaction. This is Rosen-Mundt reduction reaction. So basically, triple bonded carbon will change into double bond and there is addition of hydrogen. And addition of hydrogen from the same side. When hydrogen is added from the same side, as we know, when two atoms lie on the same side of the plane, the isomer we call cis isomer. So basically alkynes on reduction with hydrogen in presence of palladium with barium sulfate, or we can say hydrogen with palladium with calcium carbonate, reaction stops at alkene and we obtain cis product. This reaction we call Rosen-Mundt reduction. Now see another. If in place of this reagent we use sodium in presence of liquid ammonia, then the another isomer will be formed. So in place of cis, now the isomer form will be trans. So basically hydrogen will attack from the opposite sides. Of plane. So triple bond convert into double bond, hydrogen on the opposite side. So basically two same atoms lie on the opposite side of the plane. Therefore we call this isomer as trans isomer. Cis and trans are the geometrical isomers. The cis reduction in Rosen-Mundt reduction, while the trans formation in case of Burke reduction. So this reaction we call Burke reduction. Now we have prepared the alkene from alkyne. One alkene forms cis alkene and one is trans. Reagents are different. Now see the next preparation of alkene from alkyl halide. So preparation of alkene from alkyl halide. As we can see, this is basically preparation of alkene from alkyl halide. The reaction we also call dehydrohalogenation reaction. So this reaction we also call dehydrohalogenation reaction. What is dehydrohalogenation reaction? D means removal. Hydro means removal of hydrogen and halo means removal of halogen. So basically removal of hydrogen and halogen. We call dehydrohalogenation reaction. So the preparation of alkene from alkyl halide, the reaction we call dehydrohalogenation reaction, removal of hydrogen and halogen. Now see, as we can see, the functional group attached to carbon, we call alpha carbon. The functional group attached to carbon we call alpha carbon. So this is alpha carbon, and the carbon which is next to alpha carbon we call beta carbon. Functional group attached to this carbon, so this is alpha carbon, and these carbon, next carbon we call beta carbon, this is also beta carbon. So basically always from alpha carbon halogen is removed, and from beta carbon hydrogen is removed. So what happens basically in dehydrohalogenation reaction? There is removal of hydrogen and halogen. So basically removal of halogen X from the alpha carbon, and removal of hydrogen from the beta carbon, and there is formation of double bond between alpha and beta carbon. So this is the overall process in dehydrohalogenation reaction. Now see, what is alpha carbon? The functional group attached to carbon, the carbon we call alpha carbon, and the next neighbor of alpha carbon, which is this one and this one, we call beta carbon. So there is basically two beta carbons. One is alpha carbon and two beta carbons are there. So there is removal of halogen. From alpha carbon. If we remove hydrogen from this beta carbon, so there is formation of double bond between this alpha carbon and beta carbon. So this is the product form. But we can also remove halogen from alpha carbon or hydrogen from this beta carbon. So formation of double bond between this alpha and beta carbon. So basically this is the another product. Now we have to discuss the major and minor product. Which is major and which is minor. As we can see in this case, this is sp2 carbon, this is sp3, this is sp3, and this is also sp3. So how many alpha hydrogens are there? 9 alpha hydrogens are there. In this case 9 alpha hydrogens are there. But in this case we can see this is sp2 carbon, this is also sp2 carbon, and this is sp3 carbon. Only one alpha hydrogen is there. And we know more number of alpha H means more stable, and more stable means major product. While less stable means minor product. So this is all about, we have discussed about the dehydrohalogenation reaction. So the preparation of alkene from alkyl halide we call dehydrohalogenation reaction. Removal of hydrogen and halogen. Basically halogen attached to carbon we call alpha carbon, and the neighbor of alpha carbon we call beta carbon. And we know halogen is removed from alpha carbon and hydrogen is removed from beta carbon. So there are two beta carbons, therefore two products are formed, and there is formation of double bond between alpha and beta after removal of halogen and hydrogen. So there are 9 alpha hydrogen, therefore it is major product. There is 1 alpha hydrogen, so it is minor. This rule we also call Sitjev rule or Jetsev rule. So basically major product according to Sitjev rule. Now see, same reactant, but we are using this time tertiary butoxide, sodium tertiary butoxide, and tertiary alcohol. This is basically a very strong base. So this is basically a very strong base because this base is bulky. In nature. When the base is bulky like this tertiary butoxide and tertiary alcohol, this is very strong base, and in strong base the product will be formed according to Hofmann elimination. What is Hofmann elimination? Hofmann elimination is the product obtained from Sitjev rule. So basically 9 alpha hydrogen major, so major according to Sitjev rule, and this is minor according to Sitjev rule. 1 alpha hydrogen minor, this is, so the minor product obtained in the first reaction will become the major product, if we use, always remember, if we are using catalyst alcoholic OH, then the major product is obtained on the basis of Sitjev rule. 9 alpha hydrogen major, this is called Sitjev rule, and this is minor. But if we use bulky base, like tertiary butoxide and tertiary alcohol, then the minor product obtained according to Sitjeff will become the major product, and this reaction we call Hoffman elimination. So these two reactions follow basically E2 elimination reaction. Now again, but if reaction is E1 elimination, so here the reagent is water at 80 degrees Celsius. Again, this is alpha carbon, this is beta carbon, this is also beta, but the major product according to Sitjeff rule. So basically halogen is removed from alpha carbon and hydrogen removed from beta carbon, and there is formation of double bond between alpha and beta carbon. So this is the major product, and this follows E1 elimination mechanism. So we have discussed in presence of bulky base. Bulky base means more steric hindrance. Then the major product is according to Hoffman rule. What is Hoffman rule? The minor product obtained in the Sitjeff elimination reaction will become the major in Hoffman. Now we will prepare the alkene from alcohol. So the next reaction is the preparation of alkene from alcohol. See the preparation of alkene from alcohol. See basically what happens. As we can see, the functional group OH attached to carbon we call alpha carbon. We call this carbon as alpha carbon. When we use concentrated H2SO4, which is a dehydrating agent, then OH group is removed from alpha carbon. And H removed from beta carbon. And again there is formation of double bond between alpha and beta carbon. So removal of OH and H, therefore we call dehydration reaction, removal of water. So when concentrated H2SO4 is used more than 170 degrees Celsius, functional group attached we call alpha carbon. This is also beta carbon and this is also beta carbon. So there are two beta carbons. So OH removed from alpha carbon and H removed from beta carbon. So one possibility is this one, and one possibility is. So basically in this reaction the mechanism is E1 mechanism. So there is chances of ring expansion. So basically the major product obtained after ring expansion. So on ring expansion, the 5-member ring will change into 6-member ring, and the one group. So basically this part we can see, this part will included in the ring, then the formation of alkene. So basically this is a case of ring expansion. Now we will discuss the preparation of alkene from dihalides. See the preparation of alkenes from dihalides. How is the preparation of alkenes from dihalides? Dihalides we can see on two adjacent positions. These are the two adjacent positions, and at these two adjacent positions two halogens are there. So first, if we use sodium ether, then these two Cl atoms are removed and there is formation of double bond in between these carbon atoms. So it forms alkene. See the another reagent. If we use zinc in presence of dust, then also this Cl and this Cl will be removed by zinc. So ZnCl2 is removed, and again there is formation of double bond. So this is the preparation of alkene from dihalide. We can also use sodium iodide in presence of acetone. Why acetone are using? Because sodium iodide is covalent in nature. To dissolve non-polar, we require a non-polar solvent, and acetone is a non-polar solvent. Therefore we have used acetone here. Again there is removal of Cl and Cl, so there is formation of double bond. So this is the product. Now see the another reagent. So when the functional group are present on the adjacent position, same functional group at adjacent position, we call vicinal. So this is basically vicinal dihalide. But if the same functional group presents at the same carbon atom, then we call geminal halide. So this is gem dihalide. If we use silver powder or zinc dust, then there is also the dimer of this reactant will form. So it forms, so carbon atom gets doubled 1 2 3 4, and there is formation of double bond between 2 and second and third carbon. Now we will discuss the preparation of alkene from carboxylic acid. Is the preparation of alkene from carboxylic acid. This is basically a free radical based reaction. When dicarboxylic acids are used, as we can see, 2 carboxylic acids are there, therefore it is dicarboxylic acids. Basically bond breaks from this position. When the bond breaks from this position, so basically it changes into when one bond is break, so it is homolytic fission, 1 electron on this carbon and 1 electron on this. So basically there is 1 electron and also there is 1 electron on this carbon atom. So basically these 2 electrons will form a pi bond. And the formation of alkene. In the same way we can see for this reaction. So this reaction we call Kolbe electrolysis. So bond is break from this position and also bond is break from this position. So this will convert into this intermediate. Now the 1 electron is present at this carbon and 1 electron is present at this carbon. So these 2 electrons will come in between and form pi bond. So this is basically the preparation. Of alkene from dicarboxylic acid using NaOH and electrolysis. The reaction we call Kolbe electrolysis based on free radical base mechanism. Now see the next reaction. So basically this is also important reaction. What happens, see, in this reaction basically when alkyl fluorides are used, then the mechanism is called E1CV mechanism, elimination through conjugate base. As we see, more electronegative atom like fluorine is attached. So alcoholic OH I am using, alcoholic OH in presence of heat. So what happens? There are 2 possibility. This is alpha, this is beta, this is also beta. So 2 products are formed. One is this one, halogen removed from alpha and H from beta. Halogen removed from alpha and H from beta. But this is according to Sitjev. So this is a minor product. So Hoffman, as we can see, this is according to Hoffman product because this is less stable. So Hoffman product is the major product. Hoffman product is the major product. So Hoffman product in this case is the major product. So in case of alkyl fluorides, elimination follows through conjugate base. So in first step fluorine atom will be removed by base. Then after there is formation of carbon anion, therefore conjugate base, then removal of beta H. So the major product is formed according to Hoffman product. Hoffman product means there is more number of hydrogen atom. As in this case we can see this is more stable alkene, this is less stable alkene. So less stable alkene will be the major product in alkyl fluorides. So we have discussed the reactions in this case. What is Hoffman elimination product? You may also think like this way. In this case we can see 2 possibilities are there. Fluorine attached to this carbon, this is alpha, this is beta, this is also beta. So there are 2 possibilities. One is this one and one is, because from alpha atom fluorine is removed and from beta hydrogen is removed. So there is formation of double bond between alpha and beta. This is alpha and this is beta. But if there is formation of double bond between this alpha and this beta, so this is the bond formation. Now see, as we can see in this case across double bond, how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2. There are 2 hydrogen atoms and there is 1. So basically there are 3 hydrogen atoms. There are how many hydrogen atoms? 3. But across this double bond we see 3 alpha, 2 alpha and 2 alpha. So basically 7 alpha hydrogen atoms are there. So according to Sitjev rule, more number of alpha H will be the major product. But in this case alkyl fluorides, Hoffman product is major, and in Hoffman the alkene containing less number of alpha hydrogen will be the major product. So according to this, because in Hoffman the alkene containing less number of alpha hydrogen will be the major product. Therefore the major product is this in this case, and the major product is this. So this is the major product according to Hofmann rule.